Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? This is your boy Speed Demon Z12 with Invader Zim. We're actually, as you can see in the footage, we're actually going to be discussing mini trucks. We're going to give some mini trucks some love today. Um, Now, just to give you guys a heads up, Invader Zim here actually does have himself a mini truck. Zim, you want to go ahead and talk to us about it?
Yeah, I own what's like in that picture there. I own a 1994 Mitsubishi Mighty Max, 4G64, 5-speed. That
Okay,
basic stuff, power steering, brakes. I prefer the
fair
manual
enough.
rack steering, but it's the truck had on it.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what was your reason for wanting a Mitsubishi Mighty Max, and why a truck? And I get for a truck if you want to move things or tow things or anything like that. Is that what you use your truck for, or do you have other things in mind?
Well, I guess it's a several part question.
Hmm.
Why I like the Mighty Max so much is because my very first vehicle was actually given to me was a 87 Mighty
Okay.
Max, silver, manual steering rack, no AC, no nothing like that. But I had to actually fix it to get it, drivable and all that, because the head had blown on it. So,
Okay.
you know, that's essentially
So
where my love started for him. Is you know, I was given one, and
so it's something that it's something that not only was it given to you, you actually put the time into making it yours.
yeah, me and my father, I was technically given to me when I was 12 years old, but we actually got it running again at 13. And I literally drove
Okay.
it since we got it running. I literally been driving since I was 13 years old. I don't know
Damn.
how I didn't get pulled over, ticketed in that thing, but I just got lucky, I guess.
So, being that this is Touge Talk, I'm assuming you were that I psychopath son of a bitch. Like I don't know what words for it. Driving a mini truck. Let me guess through the mountains of California.
Yep, I did in fact drive my Vitamax in the mountains. Um, I had started doing some stuff to it. I'd ported polished the head, swapped it to a 4G64. Um, went through about 4 transmissions before I learned how to actually drive stick like you should, not
Oh shit.
abusing them. um,
Mm,
as far as Toge goes, I actually had the front rims. It was a ridiculous setup. If you saw the truck, anyone who knew that truck was mine knew that it was my truck. I mean, back end sat like it sat like that. Front was low, the back end was up. I had 16-inch Suburban wheels in the front with 205 35 Falcons on the front. And in the rear, they were 15-inch rims, but they had 31-inch off-road tires on them.
oh
So
my god.
it sat crazy. And I also had a really thick roll bar that me and my father modified that was originally for an F-250. Tell you how big the thing was.
Good god.
You saw the truck. I wish I had pictures of it. I really do. It looked like it belonged in Mad Max. It really did. It was awesome.
You see, I can see you driving that though. I really can. I can completely see you driving that. And that's just that fits your kind of personality when it comes to vehicles. And that I completely get that. Um, so you did a port and polish on the head,
Yeah, when we
swapped
initially
over.
put the engine back together, I did port and polish. That's all we really did to it. Didn't do too much to it. Um, I messed with the cam timing and the ignition timing a little bit to try to give it a little more top end, but it's just the cam profile. It loses power after about 5,200 RPMs. You might as well shift at 5, even though the red line technically was 6,000.
Okay, so something like that. I mean, if I remember correctly, the 4G64, it's a cast iron bottom end, where the bottom half of the engine is cast iron, and that's really good for turbo applications for anything that requires boost. Did you consider doing anything like that with your Mighty Max?
I wanted to, but if I was going to go with that, I might as well just swapped in 4G63 turbo. It would have been probably easier as far
Okay.
as actually building performance on it. I know the 4G64s you can swap the heads, but I would also have to go swap all the electronics and everything else with it. I
Yeah,
think in
that's
an
one.
Eclipse
Mhm.
with the 4G64, I think someone actually managed to swap the head with the intake and exhaust and stuff, but he managed to use the 4G64 electronics. That's something I'm very
Yeah,
interested
yeah, you can do that. Um, you will have to remap the ECU a little bit for it to work with the turbo application properly. But
in.
yes, it can be done.
But the only
Back
problem
in the day.
is
Mhm.
Mitsubishi ECUs don't like to be reprogrammed. You have to
No,
actually
no,
get
they
a.
really don't.
There's a couple of years that don't mind it, but you have to actually get a special EEPROM for them to do it, I believe.
Hmm. Yeah, because there was a in the past there was someone that I knew that had an '03, I think. Yeah, it was an '03 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and she wanted to do something with the Eclipse. We looked into swapping over to the 4G63 turbo head with the intake manifold, the turbo manifold, the turbo itself. Just take all that together and bolt it in almost as one unit. And they, it looked like that the head studs lined up beautifully. I wouldn't say perfectly, but really, really close. It was definitely ideal. Like it could definitely be done. Um, as to how feasible that is, I'm not entirely sure. I mean,
Yeah, see,
after I
I'm not personally too familiar with third gen Eclipses because that 4G64 is completely different from mine. Because
no,
I've
I'm
because
sure of that.
because I believe mine's the Sirius or Sirius 2 4G64, while those are the Orions,
Yep.
if I'm correct.
Yes. I have heard other people say that before. You're not the first to say that. Um, so, if anything else, if anything else, I do recall you saying that you have a power steering rack. You prefer a manual rack like your old one did. Um, what is the difference between the two?
Me personally, I like the manual rack over the power steering just because you feel everything more. And I feel like the steering's more responsive to what's going on in the vehicle. Like say if you're sliding around, the steering seems to react a little better. I mean, the power
Okay.
steering is still doable. It's not terrible by any means, but the only
So,
real
so
downside to manual rack is you got to have some muscle when you're not moving very fast.
yeah, so it's just like a car. It's literally a car without
That's
power steering.
probably why I have.
Good God. Okay. Yep. If I'm ever getting myself into a bar fight and you're around, yeah, I know I'll be all right. But I also like. Let me ask you this: I have not seen any Mitsubishi Mighty Maxes that are set up for Touge. Have you come across any that
Not
have been set
specifically
up
for
for
grip racing, or not specifically for Touge, but there are a few out there for grip.
Touge? Okay. Hmm. Just I'm not gonna lie, I would actually like to see that. Something with like a 4G63 or um, I know there's going to be some people that are going to want to sit there and say that they like to see like a Honda engine of some kind swapped in like a K24 or something like that, made to rear-wheel drive, or a F20, something like that. I'm pretty sure that by now, as old as those vehicles are, there's got to be something.
Well, as you speak of that, there's a drifter who originally had 4G63, but he just constantly had problems with it. He ended up going with the F23C out of a S2000.
Really?
Yeah, so it has been done.
No, so wait, hold on. Wait. There's one thing that just completely went by me. Wait, drift truck?
Yes, drift truck. There's a few of
I
them out
gotta
there that
see
like to go
this.
drifting.
Yeah, I've got to see this. I mean, I've seen guys take the Nissan 240 SX and set it up to where they cut the actual body to simulate a what was it, a pickup truck. I've seen that, but I have not seen any actual any mini trucks set up for drift. I think that'd be really interesting to see.
I do have.
What like? Hmm?
Go on.
Um, I just want to see this. Oh my dear God!
I know it's. Give me a second.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, right now he's just. I just saw a picture of
Yeah.
it. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God!
that's a nice shot of it. It's a little rough, but like I said, the guy was originally running a 4G63 in it. He ended up going with the F20 or F23C
Oh my
just for
God!
reliability's sake.
I I can see that. I mean, apparently
He's
it
got
does
some
get
nice steering
sideways.
angle there.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, if you even look to the right hand side of the picture, driver's side tire is even poking out past the body. Oh my God, that thing does get some angle. It seems that is
Oh
just
yeah.
nuts. Now, now some of these other trucks that have been displayed in the background, I think that these are fine examples of what, like this in this example, this truck right here. That is extreme, but that kind of shows you as to what the mini truck world really does offer. Now, typically, it's kind of like what you see here. They're very artful, very decorative, and rolling pieces of art. I've also seen them with hydraulics slammed around like this one. I've seen them with audio just lining the entire bed. Like there is no truck bed, it is just straight audio. But some of these other ones, like this green one with the red halo headlights, that one I can see that in a Touge. That would be nuts.
Yep.
Um, that's a nice touch. I do have to say that that is nice.
That's what I love about mini trucks. There's something for everybody. I mean, there's off-road tree runners. There's drag. There's actually a girl that's got a 4G63 powered macro cab, I believe it is. Still 5-speed. She's running like 11s or 12s in it.
Huh?
Stick shift. Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. Just type in Mighty Max Drag. You'll find it.
Oh, that
It's
is
a
definitely
light tannin color truck if you'll want to look for
okay. So we know of in of mini trucks. The ones we know of right off the bat, very prominent, are the Ford Ranger, the Chevy S10, maybe Tacoma, but this is a unique one, and this is a Jeep, and you can tell from the front end. What type of Jeep pickup is that?
it. That was a Jeep Comanche.
Yeah, that is something you don't typically see every day. So you have your Jeep Comanche, Ford Ranger, Chevy S10, Mighty Max. Oh my God, the one that just flashed on the screen, that was nuts. A cab over truck slammed to the
Oh,
ground. That was
yeah.
just epic.
I'll bring it up so you can admire it a little bit more.
And that's just something so unique that, yeah, right there. That is just so unique in itself. I'm not gonna lie, I would rock that. I would definitely rock that all
And
day,
it's
every day.
and the interesting thing is, most of the Japanese manufacturers have made something like that. Mitsubishi has one. Honda has one. I think that's the Honda. Um, I don't know if Mazda made one, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
Daihatsu,
yeah,
Isuzu, all of them.
yeah. Isuzu and Daihatsu. I already knew about those guys. I mean, they've been doing that for a very, very long time, but I didn't know that. that Honda had one like this. Now I think that'll be very, very interesting to see that as a functional piece in terms of grip. Because you mean, let's face it, you look at that and you think, nah, there's no way it could corner a mountain. But I honestly think that one this particular example, I think this one would do very well.
Well, a lot of K cars actually would if you take the time to develop them. I mean, even the K trucks, they need sticky tires and gotta get a good suspension on them. I mean, they're not heavy cars. They're not allowed to be.
Yeah, it's a K car. I mean, they're designed to be small, economical, and well, I would say easy to work on, but that's just a blunt lie. That's just a straight lie. If you ever try looking at a prime example, if you guys ever go on YouTube and you look up the boys at Mighty Car Mods, look up the Daihatsu Mira. They've done amazing work with it. It's a little tiny car, but I will say this: in terms of K cars, that's an example as to what is not easy to work on. There is no room to speak of in the engine compartment.
They're tiny vehicles, man. They really are.
Oh yeah, and they're super, super tiny. But I mean, there's still potential. Um, Now I do recall last week that we made a quick mention of one pickup that I had never heard of, and you showed me, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. You called it the Chevy Love.
Yes. Chevy Love truck, and it's actually based on, I believe, an Isuzu. Chevy likes to work with the Isuzu quite a bit.
Okay, yeah, I'd never heard of anything like that before. And when you showed me, it was like you said it was converted to a drag truck.
Yeah.
This thing had the monsters, like what was it? Like Mickey Thompson kind of drag racer kind of slicks on the back. Like it's just, you look at the thing, you look at the back tires, you want to think typically like this. No, this thing was like was huge.
Oh yeah, it's
It was just
proper drag
ridiculous with this thing. Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, you hit the gas, and by looking at it, you'd expect the front tires to come off the ground and nothing less. I I don't even know what they had for a power plant, but it was definitely a V8. I think they had the hood
350
off
stoked to
even from the engine.
377 or something like that.
Yeah, that is just nuts. That is just absolutely nuts. Oh my god, I'd be afraid of driving that thing. I mean, can you imagine trying to go around town or something like that?
I could. You gotta remember, I grew up around hot rods, ridiculous vehicles, man. You know, one
Yeah,
of
I
the
just realized
fastest cars
that.
I've been in was my father originally used to own a 1966 Chevelle with a 454. It was proper setup. It was a 10-second car.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'll pass. I'll sit on the sideline and watch. I'm not going to get in the in the passenger seat of that thing. I already know it's not going to be pretty for me at that point. Especially they do they slap the hand on the what was it, on the dashboard. There's $100 bill. It's like, once
Oh
I hit the
yeah,
gas,
he'd be able to
welcome to
play
happen.
that game. You'd be stuck in that seat. You
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to move
I'm
forward.
good. I'm good. I'm just like, yeah, just pull $100 away. I'm not going to grab it. I'm not even going to try. I mean, in terms of tailgate, these trucks actually do, in my opinion, have a great potential for being vehicles that you look and you think, nah, just nah, it's not going to do anything, and then catch you off guard. For a lot of these vehicles, if you take your time to look at them, yeah, they do require some work, but most cars do anyway.
Well, that's the
So,
crazy thing you mentioned. That is, in the mini truck world, we don't have a whole lot of
mhm.
parts to pick and choose from. We gotta make most of this stuff.
Really?
Like you might get it. The best you can get is like a 3-inch drop kit. that's that's about all it really is. There's no real performance parts for these trucks. Like all these trucks, they have to steal rims from other vehicles just to get nice rims on them.
Hmm.
I mean, brake setups. A lot of what we in the Mighty Max guys do, we'll actually steal them from Tacomas, just so we can have a 5-lug setup. Because for whatever reason, Mitsubishi decided to put 6 lugs on them. But
Yeah,
they
I think
are
that's a little.
capable little trucks. They will pull a lot more than you think they could.
Mm-hmm. And so I've heard. You're not the only one to tell me that. And a couple of people have told me that actually. Um, I myself, I'm a fan of Nissan. As of recently, not so much. The older stuff, absolutely. Like, for example, the Nissan that's on the screen now.
Well, that's a Mazda, but
That,
yeah,
that's not, is it? Oh
that
yeah,
would be
it's
a
a Mazda.
Nissan or a Datsun.
Yep, that's it. Now that one, hey, I like that. It's a
That's
small
another nice
truck.
Datsun.
Oh, which one is that? Wait,
That's a
that's not a
Datsun.
Mazda. That's a Datsun. I was gonna say. I thought you said Mazda. I'm like, wait, what?
No, no.
No. Now the older ones, I think, were made far, far better. It's just there was less frills, there was less gimmicks with them. Just get in and do your thing. That's all it really was.
I would definitely agree with the 70s and early 80s, but late 80s when the whole EPA thing hit, yeah.
Yeah,
Believe me,
California.
my Mighty Max had so many fucking vacuum lines and EGR valve stuff. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, at that point, it just kind of made things a little more difficult. And now you have the opportunity because of all the nonsense that California decided to put everyone else through. It gave everyone else a challenge that allowed them to allow other car makers to build cars that can still go by those rules, but end up being capable of more power and more performance with more efficiency. Um, like I would love, I think this would be absolutely insane. I would love to see your Mitsubishi Mighty Max at some point on the Touge. I want to see that thing on a proper mountain pass, just ripping it up.
Once I can get my funds in order, you best believe it.
Now that I think about it, two of the most common um, mini trucks should be, as I stated before, the Chevy S10 and the Ford Ranger. What I would like to see, being that they're used for everything else, for being lowriders or for being pieces of art or for just audio. I want to see something like that that's under the hood of that vehicle right there. I want to see it grip, straight up, complete, unadulterated grip machine. Like a prime example, a Ford Ranger, an older Ford Ranger with the the new 2.3 liter EcoBoost turbo engine, the 5-speed or a 6-speed if you want to go for that, go for it. I want to see something like that just absolutely go bananas on a mountain pass and grip. And for it to be a bonus, I want it to be bone stock. I want to look stock, not be bone stock, obviously, but I want that thing to look stock. So that way you roll up on somebody, they'll look at you. Yeah, okay, no, not gonna happen. This is a win. And then see the look on their face at the end of the run. What the hell is that? For anyone that's got a sleeper, I can tell you this much: it's a feeling that is so rewarding when you race up against somebody that they look at look at your vehicle and they think, yeah, no, this just and that's in the bag. I got this. And then at the end of the run, they're looking around like, what the hell just happened? That's the kind of thing that I myself personally that's the kind of thing that I appreciate. But now, what's up with this on the screen that you're showing everybody? What's with this? And I've heard of this.
Yeah, this
It's
is
obviously
an
not bad.
old SCCA series. It didn't last very long. And interesting enough, that's actually Steve Saleen driving that truck.
Wait, wait.
He wasn't
Steve Lean
just
himself.
Steve Saleen himself is driving that truck. He didn't just modify vehicles. He actually raced.
You could tell when it was going by the other cars in the that are on the other side of the wall. That thing was not moving slow by any means. Even through a corner, that thing was moving quick. Yeah, right there. That's moving. I don't care who you are. That's moving. My God, that kind of goes to show you what these mini trucks are really capable of. My God, that is just nuts. Now that I
Oh
would go
yeah.
for a ride in.
Right?
But definitely go for a ride in that. Yeah, the one thing that kind of boggles my mind. Oh, there he goes. He's even getting sideways. That's how fast these things actually are, and that's one thing that kind of scares me because it's a truck. There's a lot less material in the back to
Oh
keep the
yeah.
rear end stable. Now you do have to do some, I guess you could say, in a manner of speaking, you almost have to do some black magic to to get the rear end stick. There's a few ways of going about it, I'm sure. I mean, let me ask you this: from what you know of, aside from using a god awful kind of aluminum piece of sheet metal strapped to the back end as a wedge, any other ideas that you can give to offer some more grip on a pickup truck?
Honestly, man, for me, I really didn't have the money, the ability to do a whole lot of truck. It just came down to driver ability. I just had to learn how the truck worked, and I mean, I really don't talk much about my mountain pass racing because a lot of people probably wouldn't believe me anyways. But I do have a little story I could bring up because my wife
Okay.
was in the truck with me. So I do have someone that can vouch. Um, I was Me and her, we just decided to go up to cruise the mountain like we did every once in a while. And on the way down, I had come across a brown STI wagon. He
Ooh,
was moving
brown.
pretty good. I said, screw it, let's see what happens. So I get on his bumper. He starts booking it. There, little race going on, and he pulled on me on the straights, but I caught up right back from right in the braking zone in the cornering. I just got right on him. I mean, I was close, like probably less than a foot is how close I got to him.
Oh my God.
We were
So wait,
doing
how
it
fast
for a
are you
good
moving?
5 minutes.
Like, how fast are you moving at that point?
I really don't pay attention to the speedo when I'm racing, but we probably got up to 80, 90 miles an hour on the mountain pass. Yes. Because our, in California, I believe it's 330 or 138. We do have some
Okay.
stretches on it. You can pick up some speed really quick. You gotta make sure you slow down because they're fairly sharp corners. Most of them are blind too.
So you've got to know that course like the back of your hand. You can't just go into it and say, "Oh, I got this. I got this." That's I can guarantee you. Any of you that want to kind of disprove that after we've seen this, uh, if you think you can just go into any mountain pass and just think, "Oh, I got this," after not driving it before or driving it a few times and then go balls to the wall with it, you're going to get yourself killed.
Yeah. There's very few
That's
people
the one
out there
thing.
that can pull a talk to me.
Hmm. But it's kind of like in that show that was mentioned, and you have to be obsessive with driving a course. If you really want to get fast on a course in racing, you're going to have to be obsessive in driving that course day and night, whether you want to or not. And you're going to have to drive that course every single chance you get, even if you don't feel like it. Even if the weather is not ideal, it doesn't matter. That's the only way you're going to get fast on any course. And really, it's like that. It's going to be on just one course, but you're going to learn it. and no one else will touch you if you really know the course like that. It doesn't
Oh
even
yeah.
matter what kind of car you get into. So, when, if anything else, for mini trucks, I think there's a lot of potential in seeing what these things can do. Yeah, there's not much in terms of aftermarket, but I'm sure there's a few things. Like a Ford Ranger, I'm pretty sure there should be, if you look carefully enough online, you should be able to find an adapter kit for some of the suspension components from the brand new, or if not newer, Mustangs. Um, you can do the same thing with the Camaro suspension going into the Chevy S10s. That way, you can go ahead and have a truck that can corner, has newer equipment that is going to be, in all honesty, lighter and stronger than the older stuff. That way, the vehicle can be a little more balanced in terms of all fours, and just have a little more capability in terms of take a turn and feel a lot more about what you're doing with it. Um, is there any points you'd like to add when it comes to the the Mighty Max guys that actually have a Mighty Max and want to do something with their trucks?
As far as Mighty Max goes, good luck. There's really not a whole lot of aftermarket support for these trucks. As far as brakes and getting nicer rims on them, you could take, I can't remember the exact years, but you can get the spindles from Tacoma and you can damn near bolt in the rear end. Um, as far as like springs, sway bars and stuff, it's just got to find something that fits. It's the only bummer about mini trucks,
Okay.
especially like S10 or Ford Ranger guys probably got way more options than we've got.
Okay. So then let me ask you this: what about the like the sway bar components from a Mitsubishi Starion?
Not bolt in because remember, Starion's not only is a completely different chassis, it's also I believe it's double wishbone in the front, and it's just a different setup in the rear. It's still, I believe, an solid axle, but yeah,
Because I'm thinking of anything else. If not that, then why not try and mirror the setup to suspension for the Mitsubishi Evolution?
completely different style
It,
drivetrain. Remember, the engine sits
right.
transverse in an
You
Evo.
know, what I'm saying is it? I mean, how likely is it to be able to get to modify the body, not only the body, the chassis, to accept and work with the Mitsubishi, like I say, in the Mitsubishi Evo, lower control arms, upper control arms,
It's like I said,
both
it's a
front.
completely different style setup because with the Mighty Maxes, it's a double A arms type setup with a spring, and then the shock goes through it. It's not a McPherson style stuff setup as in the Evos.
So it would take a lot of fabrication for it to get to work.
It would take a lot of work. It really would.
Okay. Hmm. So all you guys out there that have Mitsubishi Mighty Maxes, now if you do have one of those and you do know of other ways of being able to modify it that can actually allow it to corner and um, be functional, let us know. Put it down in the comments. Um, that way, if you do have some videos to show some tips on the guys that do have the truck that want to improve it, we'll let everyone else know. We'll go ahead and share it with the community, so that way you guys can have a little more backup and to show what these trucks are really capable of. I would love to see it. I really would. I would love to see what those trucks are truly capable of, especially since they're, as Zim has said, that there's hardly any following for it. Well,
Well, it's not so much. There's a massive following for Mighty Maxes and mini trucks in general. It's just a lot more underground. But as far as aftermarket support, that's where it gets tough.
That sounds like a good business opportunity for somebody out there.
Oh yeah.
And if that's the case, it really does sound like there's an opportunity right there for somebody to capitalize on it and say, hey, everybody, I got a business, I got parts for you. I'm pretty sure if that's the case, people are going to flock to them. And I think they could make a little bit of money off of it. Not a great amount, but a fair bit of money. But yeah. So I guess we're going to leave it off there. When you guys get a chance, if you guys want to show some love for us, go on Facebook.com and look us up at the Touge Battle Network. That's TOUGE Battle Network.
Up in the
If you want to show some, if you go ahead and throw it up so that way everybody can see as to what the page looks like. Let's see. On there, all you have to do is just hit like, and you're in. It's that simple. There's no questionnaire. There's no nothing. There's no application or anything like that. Just hit like, and you're in. We do have a social media account manager. She was just brought on recently. If you ever see anything from Kara Leifson, that would be my wife. Make sure you're nice to her, or there's going to be problems. Yeah, so she's great actor. I will say that. I am very happy to have her on board. She's really cool. I think you guys will like having her on. Now, if you guys want to show some love for us here at the TBN, help us out to show that you guys actually do care in a way aside from just liking and joining the page and joining our community. Go on teespring.com/stores/Touge Battle Network, and on there is our actual storefront. You can pick up any item you want. I think we currently have 56 items for sale. One of them being this shirt, and I love it. It is super wearable. Zim's got his. I've got mine. Where's yours? And they're super wearable, super comfortable, and they're. I love them. I worn this out a couple of places, and people look at it and they're like, "Ooh, I want that. I want that. Where can I get it?" It's a really unique thing. The shirts are $21.99. They come pre-washed, pre-shrunk. So if you get a large, you're getting an actual large. So if I've got mine and Zim has his, I know my wife's got hers actually. She's got hers as well. She has herself a fitted tank top. If we have ours, you guys need to join us. If you guys are going to join us, you got to have yours. Now, if you do get one, show some love and sending it to us on Facebook. Just post up a picture that you've got yours, and just you know what? How about this? Hashtag it.
Hey, you might even show up in one of our videos.
Yeah, you might. You just might actually show up in a video with us.
Hey, it's
we might have you
idea. On. Fan appreciation at the end of our videos from now on.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. If you go ahead, you buy a shirt or you buy some other item that's on there, say $21.99 or more, and you put in a hashtag got mine, we'll bring you onto the show. We'll talk shop with you. Now, moving forward, next week we're going to be talking about cars in the real world, and then we're going to compare them to virtual reality. How we got our start is on Forza Motorsport 4. Last video and this video, we didn't really do that. So you know what? Let's take it back. Let's take it back to where it began. We're going to go on. We're going to start going online, talking about the cars that are online. So we'll go ahead and see as to what we can come up with. We've got a few ideas. I don't want to say as to what they are just yet. One of them might be just might be a Ford Mustang. I'm not going to say what year. Um, I do know, and it's been long awaited. Everyone's been waiting. A lot of people got banned for this, and for good reason. Not use him. Just say, not you, brother. I know you didn't do this. Was to change the date to unlock the Toyota AE86. We're finally getting it back. Just a matter of time before it drops. Zim, do you know when that officially hits?
I believe the 17th or 18th when it changes to the next season in Horizon.
So so what? 2 weeks.
Something like that, yeah.
2 weeks at the most. A week and a half to 2 weeks. Almost there. As soon as it drops, we got this. We're going to
we'll definitely have a video on it.
Oh yeah, we're going to do a full breakdown as to what you can expect from the car, and we're going to do a couple of builds. Like I myself, I like to do a build that has a little more power, where Zim likes to have a lot more grip and focus more on maintaining. All the grip. Okay. I mean, it's kind of like, so he likes to drive a car. It's kind of like a pit bull that's lashed on your arm and is not letting go. For me, it's more like a chihuahua with a rocket in its ass. That's kind of how I see it. Keep it light. Okay, not if not a chihuahua. Okay, that's a little messed up. Okay, I'd say maybe American bulldog. A little bit heavier, but still with some fire under its ass. That's how I like to build the cars. And I like when it comes to grip, you can have a car that's got a little more power that can corner, not so well, but at least you have the straights covered. Zim knows how to build a cornering machine. This man here, he has built some of the grippiest cars I have ever seen. That, I mean, do they feel slow at first? Yeah. Take it through its paces. If you go ahead and look him up on Forza Horizon 4, look up Invader Zim. You're going to come across some of his tunes. One I highly recommend is his Acura Integra A-Class. It is nuts. You want a grip machine, a front-wheel drive grip machine? You got it right there. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
I myself, I have a rear-wheel drive Toyota Supra. I didn't do anything with the engine, but it didn't need it. It's just phenomenal by itself. Some of our friends have got the tune. They loved it. Let me know in the comments if you guys come across it. What you think in the comments. Also, let us know if you have a mini truck and if you want to discuss it later at a later point. Let us know. To that point, remember, if you get your shirt or you get anything from the TBN, hashtag got mine. Post it up on the TBN, the Facebook page. That's it. Zim, any final thoughts? Anything you want to add?
I think you covered everything. I think it's about time we wrap this thing up.
All right. That's it. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching the TVN Touge Talk. Y'all have a good night. Peace.